スタジオ3万
So, Dan, which Teletubby are you? We've got Tinky Winky, drama queen, fashionista, takes way too long to get ready. Dipsy, artistic, mischievous, and the messy one. Lala, a natural performer, always at a rave, and a wannabe DJ. And then there's Poe, who's a free spirit, innocent, and a tubby toast lover.
Hello, and welcome to this week's edition of the Nerd OD podcast. I'm Dan.
And I am Reg.
Reg, guess what I have in common with Tinky Winky, Dipsy, Lala, and Poe?
You went out, got extremely drunk, and woke up with a television in your belly.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be fit to pod if that happened. I think I would probably be in hospital, but close. That's not the guess I was expecting, to be honest. But
okay, if I was that close, then you went out, got really drunk, ended with a really bad head injury, and now you can only talk in stupid fucking baby talk.
Okay, does it sound like that, Reg?
I don't know, because I'm so used to hearing it now.
Fair enough.
It blends into like a normal conversation quite well.
No, I am fully vaccinated.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you not aware of the Teletubbies being fully vaccinated?
I am not aware of the Teletubbies being.
Have you not been on the internet for the last week?
Yeah, but I've not seen anything about that.
I mean, yeah, the positive is, I got my second jab, so yeah, I can go on holiday now. Although I probably won't. But yeah, the main thing is, so where was it? The 7th of July. Basically, the Teletubbies Twitter account is quite. Are you on it now? Have you just seen it?
Yeah.
It's fairly entertaining, to be fair. I mean, all they'd really do is when there's like an event, they seem to be tweeting, "Oh, look, the Teletubbies are celebrating the 4th of July," or "Happy Pride to everyone." But specifically, they put up a tweet, "We're all vaxxed just in time for a tubby hot summer. Who's ready to come out and play?" And it's a picture of each of them holding their vaccination tubby card. So it's got their name, it's got their date of birth, and it says what they got, which ones they got. So Tinky Winky got Noonson and Noonson. We've got Dipsy with Astrotubica. Lala got Noonson and Noonson as well. And Poe got Astrotubica. Now, the weird thing is, and this is the conspiracy theory, right?
Hang on. You missed one out, mate.
Did I?
Yeah. Have you not seen the tweet next to it?
Tweet next to it?
Yeah, or above it, sorry. Don't worry. Nunu got vaxxed too.
Oh, phew.
Nunu
got no card, but he/she has got a sticker. I never got a sticker. Didn't even get a plaster. I didn't bleed or anything. It's weird. I had to have a blood test like a couple of years ago, and they did that, and she taped a bit of cotton wool to me. I was like, don't I get a sticker? And she went, "Oh yeah, sure, hold on." And she went in a drawer and pulled out a Lego Batman. It was a Poison Ivy sticker, and I was like, you have no idea how amazingly perfect that is. Thank you. I will take it. Anyway, just to continue with this point, there's a conspiracy theory now going around about this, though, Reg. Have you seen the date of birth?
I haven't, but the Teletubbies Twitter account is the best thing I've ever seen.
Yep.
It's Shark Week, and you just got Dipsy on the surfboard. Just surfing around. This is the greatest thing. How have I never not? How have I not ever known about this?
I don't know.
I'm just looking at their cards now.
Okay, so the date of birth.
Oh right.
They're all born on the same day. So I'm guessing they were quadruplets. So it's 20th of Feb 03 is their date of birth.
Yeah.
Now, when did Teletubbies first air?
I think when I was in school. So yeah. That was a long time ago.
It first aired it was in the 90s. 1997. Okay.
So yeah.
So that means that either one, these are forged. These are not valid Tubby vaccination cards. Or two, that's not 2003, Reg. That's 1903. Now that is believable that they are like ever living weird beings that they are 120 years old.
Their April Fool's joke was that they invented Tubby currency. And
like a Bitcoin. The Tubby coin. An official Teletubbies cryptocurrency made with special hug tech from Wild Brain Labs is here. Okay.
Their Twitter account is incredible. For it actually being an actual proper one that kids will want to go on to see, it's incredible.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost not though. Surely, it's. I think it's for the parents, right? I mean, not many kids are going to be on Twitter. Twitter is the most boring social media for kids.
It depends on who you follow. Because, quite a lot of the things like Dougie puts up his exclusive new songs and stuff on Twitter.
Okay.
And then the kids can just see all of them. Not that I go on a lot of kids' accounts, obviously, but yeah, do love it. Just trying to figure out which Teletubby I am. So, Dan, which Teletubby are you? We've got Tinky Winky.
Yeah, I know who they all are.
I'm running through what their points are.
Oh, right.
It says, forget star signs, we want to know which Teletubby are you. So Tinky Winky, drama queen, fashionista, takes way too long to get ready.
Okay, so that one's Sean.
Dipsy, artistic, mischievous, and the messy one.
That is me.
Yeah. I didn't want to say it, but yeah.
100% me.
Lala, a natural performer, always at a rave, and a wannabe DJ.
Reg.
Yeah.
As he calls out DJ Hero.
DJ Hero. And then there's Poe, who's a free spirit, innocent, and a tubby toast lover.
Okay, I mean, it's going to have to be Dave, because we run out of people.
Yeah, and I imagine Dave is pretty much
a free spirit. Yeah, innocent. Yeah, I'll go with that. Think he loves tubby toast?
I think he's a massive tubby toast lover.
Okay, makes sense.
I can spend this entire hour wee pod running through this. Teletubby account. We shouldn't.
Not to, if that's okay.
Right. Yeah. I need to get off this, but it is now officially followed.
Excellent.
Legend. Thank you for
by your personal account or by the NerdOD account.
It's my personal one. I'm going to follow on the NerdOD one as well, don't worry.
Okay.
But yeah, so apologies because I know I got really carried away, but thank you very much for informing me that the Teletubbies are now officially vaccinated.
Yep. And they are 120 years old at least.
And they're over 120 years old at least.
Yep. It's the only possible explanation.
So someone's put, the Teletubbies feared COVID-19. This proves they are mortal. The beasts can be killed.
They haven't been able to for 120 years, Reg.
That's very true. And I was like, no, you're only supposed to get one dose of that one, the Noonson. Right.
Oh, yeah, anyway. That's a good point. That is a single dose vaccine.
So I am. I've closed it.
Okay, good.
I'm no longer on it.
Do you think? I'm expecting at some point someone to make a video or a comic or maybe even a TV/movie, like based on someone who goes round and gets every single one of the COVID vaccines available and then suddenly has some weird superhero style reaction. I feel like that's a really good premise for a story. Like, which one of you got? I've got all of them, baby. And then suddenly they've got these amazing powers. If I was artistic, I'd be on it.
I think you should be. I think you are artistic enough to create a short.
I know that's not true. So in Canada, they mix their vaccines. They're like,
apparently it's more successful.
In some cases, they're like, just here you go. You've had that one, have a bit of this one.
Yeah, I think I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
I don't know which one it is. I had one of them. I think it was the Zeneca thing. Maybe
double Pfizer.
It might be that one. I'm not too sure. I've lost all my information that I needed to keep in order to take it back and be like, look at me.
It's quite ironic because the day that I got the text saying, hey, can you book your second jab? It is the day that I came out of a partial self-isolation.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's a way to celebrate?
Exactly. Exactly. I say partial because we didn't get told we had to. We just, someone I know that I've seen had to, just to explain to people at home. So what have you been up to, Reg?
I have been. So I've not spoke about this on the pod since it happened. So I was in work the other week, and the wife was at the zoo with the little one, and it hit my dinner time. So I was like, right, I'll come pick you up, and I'll see everyone, and then bring you back home. And so I jumped in the car, heading down the motorway, and all of a sudden my car did a die, and I was like, oh no, and the car was dead for the very long duration. So the wife had to get the bus to my mum's house because my dad was coming to help tow my car to their house to see if he could fix it without me having to spend a fortune at a garage. So that didn't work. So I ended up having to scrap that car. And then I was like, right, I want to get a decent, reliable car. So I was like, had a look around, and I was like, you know what? I drive and work a lot at the Qashqai, so I'm like, I'm going to grab the Qashqai. At least I know that won't do anything dodgy, and I know how to drive that. And I love Qashqai, and Oliver will go mental when he sees you've got a big car, because he loves my dad's car.
Okay.
So my dad's got like one of the Lexus 4x4s, and yeah, he's always like, oh, I want to go in that. So I was like, I can't wait to see his face if I ever get one of these. And then I finally managed to get one. So like, amazing. And then hit last Friday, and the wife was like, oh, I'm going flip out, the trampoline places. She's like, I'm going one of those with Oliver today because I'm off. And I was like, oh, sound, I'll take you. So we jumped in the Qashqai, got there, on the way back, clutch went in the middle of the car park.
Sorry.
I was literally so really busy because it's dinner time, like stupidly busy because it's dinner time. And I'm at the traffic lights that were red, and then all of a sudden, my car just starts going a bit forward. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, jeez.
The clutch, when I put it in, just stuck down. I'm like, oh, well, that's not good. So I tried to bring it back up, and it just went, no spring, no like connection. Just started going really loose up and down. I was like, oh no. So I was like,
How old is this car? Like, how many miles is on it?
It's not many at all. It's like well below the average clutch going. It's only like 43 or something, and should replace them like 60 to 70 in an Ascent Qashqai. Okay. So I was like, sound. So first thing I ever do without thinking is phone my dad. It's like you just know when you're like, oh my god,
I'd go with that.
Dad. Yeah. So I phoned my dad, and I was like, right, okay, well, I'll come grab you. He was like, you should have a fucking AA membership, mate, but I'll come and grab you. And I was like, I know I should. So literally my dad came, towed me back to my house. It was this time around. Because I got this car on finance. So I was like, oh, I've got the warranty included in it, stuff like that, just in case anything did go wrong with it. And then the stupid thing is, and everyone kept on going, oh, that's a surprise. Because when I got the warranty, I was like, oh, you even get like a clutch replacement, like one clutch replacement in the entire duration of the warranty. It's like, why is that pointed out, but nothing else is? It's like really bizarre. Like, hey, look at me in bold. You get one clutch replacement. I'm like, that's really fucking weird. And then the clutch went, and I was like, oh, that's why. Because the minute you get the warranty, they're like, and snip the cable. The clutch is gone. So I was like, but it was a finance company that basically you phone them up and they've got to approve or say no. So took it to the got the garage guy to come and collect it, and he was like, yeah, literally it's the clutch is gone. I can tell you exactly what it is, and it'll take about a good day to tear it apart and put in a new one and sort it all out. And I was like, yeah, no worries, that's fine. So phoned up the warranty, like, this is where it is, this is where the garage is, blah blah blah, can you just approve it? And like, oh, we'll put the claim in, we need to hear back from the garage. So the garage called them up and was like, this is what it is. And they were like, oh, right, okay, we'll send it off for approval and we'll just wait to hear back. And like 3 days have passed, and I'm like, I've not heard anything. And I was like, this is not a good sign. So I phoned up the warranty place again. I was like, have you got any updates? And they were like, no, we don't. It's still trying to get the approval deal done. As soon as the review finishes, we'll call you and let you know. And then the garage is phoning me to be like, you gonna sort your car out, mate, or do we have to remove it? Like, what are you doing? I was like, please don't remove my car. Like, you charge me 50 quid to get it to your garage, which is 2 streets away. So, like, I don't want you to charge me another 50 quid to get it off your fucking garage forecourt. I was like, just literally, please keep it there. So I was like, right, got that. Sort of eventually, the finance people phoned me up and were like, "Hi, I just want to let you know that that we're still reviewing it. It's with the head honcho at the minute. But I believe you've called the finance company, the warranty company, at least a dozen times." And I was like, "Yes, I have," because apparently it takes 2 hours to get a decision according to their website, and mine's been 4 days. So I would love to know what the decision is. And like, I'm having a meltdown because obviously we've got no car, no vehicle. Ash needs to get to work and back. Oliver needs to get to childcare and nursery and everything. I'm like, how do we do this? Because there's no, like, when Ash goes to her mum's, when Oliver goes to her mum's, like his nan's, like, if I don't drive them, there's no buses that get there, so it'd be taxis, and taxis there and back is like 16, 17 quid a day, and to do that for the duration of this time, I'm like, I'm not willing to do that. So I'm like, oh my god, this is a nightmare. So I was like, put me onto your head honcho, and I was like, I need to have a word. And like, well, he's not available at the minute. I was like, well, he is, and I'll hold until he becomes available, so just stick me on hold. So eventually, after like 35 minutes of holding, this guy came on and he was like, yeah, well, you see, I'm having a look at the documentation that the technical engineer sold me, and yeah, it's wear and tear. And I was like, it is not wear and tear. And I was like, it's a brand new car. Have a look at all this evidence. And I literally went through it all. And I was like, and to top it all
wear and tear of that week that you've had it.
Yeah. I was like, literally, I've had it just under a month. Just over a month, sorry, because I couldn't even do the 30-day cancel. I tried to throw that at them. And I was like, well, on the contract I've got, I've got a 30-day cancellation, so I'm just going to take the fucking car back. I was like, and void this warranty, void the finance, and just fuck everything. And I was like, I'm not interested in the slightest. And he's like, well, actually, it's over your 30-day by 2 days. And I was like, so like, I was fuming, and I was like, so you're telling me, A, you're not willing to pay for my car, B, you sold me a fucking dodgy car, and C, this is the first time I get to see my 2-year-old since January because of fucking COVID and lockdown. And now I'm not going to be able to see him. The only thing that's literally spurring me on at the minute. I went through this huge, massive lie. Obviously, as we're all aware, just listening, my wife and kid live with me, as you've heard on several podcasts.
Yeah, mostly happily as well.
So I did all this. And it was only that little bit of the sob story that made him go, I shouldn't do this, mate. Go on. And he authorised it. And I was just like, for fuck's sake. So I phoned the garage up and I was like, right, it's finally been authorised. Here's the code. Can you do the work and then just phone up the finance company and they will pay it you? And he was like, right, okay, sound. So he went to start it all off and he called me back like 10 minutes later and was like, mate, you pay me and the finance company pay you back? And I was like, oh, they did not tell me that. How much is it? And he was like 500 odd quid. And I was like, oh, where am I going to get that from? For fuck's sake, you're threatening to get rid of my car because it's in the garage and it won't do it. So I finally managed to get that sorted. And I was like, right, I've got the money, so just order the parts and I'll come pay it. And the guy was like, yeah, sound. So they ordered the parts. This was like 4:00 in the afternoon on the Thursday. And he was like, it'll be here Friday morning, you can come collect it. And I was like, sound, thank you. So literally working away, hit towards dinner time, and I was like, he's not called me. And I was like, I'm going to give the garage a call. And then the receptionist picked up and she was like, yeah, I was just about to call you. And I was like, go on. She's like, I ordered the wrong part for the vehicle. And I was like, right, okay, but the new part's going to be there now and you're open tomorrow, so it'll be fixed tomorrow. And she was like, it's not going to turn up till Monday. I was like, you are fucking kidding me. So at this point, the garage has had my car for nearly as long as what I've had my car. All for the sake of this fucking warranty and an idiot receptionist.
Oh dear.
I'm just like, when you just think, I just need to catch a break and I don't know where it's coming, but I definitely need to catch a break. I was just like, please, just something for once, just go my way. So then I phoned him up today and I was like, right, okay, you had Monday and I haven't heard a single thing. So where are we up to? And this was at like 5:15, and the guy was like, yeah, honestly, mate, I'm just about to put it all back together again. I'll be ready for you for 9 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, okay. So I've just got to hope now that when I walk down tomorrow morning to collect it, he's not going to be like, oh yeah, by the way, I put it together and then the car exploded, because that's the only thing I can think of right now. So having a bit of a mare with that. But the one thing that is giving me lots of joy is, have you heard of Nicolas Cage's new film?
Okay, I mean, every time that anyone utters that phrase, you know that you're in for a bit of a ride here, because he seems to be on a weird, like, let's just do any film that I'm paid to do, which are mostly weird indie films.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's called Pig.
Okay.
So basically, what you're doing is you're swapping out the dog in John Wick that got killed, right, for a pig that's been kidnapped, right?
Okay.
So basically, it's a truffle pig
hunter who lives alone.
So
Okay.
he used to be in with like the the gangs, like the big mafia type guys, and then he was like, my life, this isn't my life. I want to be more than this, and he wanted to become a chef. So he's a gourmet chef.
Right.
What it is, and he uses truffles a lot, and he lives out in the middle of the sticks where no one knows where he is. And he literally lives with his truffle pig, and his truffle pig snuffs out all the truffles, and he makes amazing foods, and makes them and sells them. And whoever it was that was running the place was like, or running the mafia was like, yeah, we need him back. Tell you what, let's kidnap his pig. And yeah, it's just him going off on a huge, massive killing spree to get his pig back. And it's been getting amazing reviews. Like, I'm not even joking by saying it's getting amazing reviews. It's been getting like solid 9s and 4 out of 5s and whatnot. Saying
just having a look at who the writer and director is, and it's not. I mean, it's no one. He hasn't done anything particularly anything before that I've ever heard of.
Nope.
Whereas, wow, okay, interesting.
I was telling Ash about it a couple of weeks back when I first seen the trailer, because the trailer is amazing for it. Even if you don't want to watch the film, people, just watch the trailer for it.
The pig, okay.
And I was telling Ash, and I was like, yeah, so basically, like, Nicolas Cage is a chef whose pig gets kidnapped, and she was like, looks a little bit like John Wick. Started laughing, and she was like, please tell me there's just a line in the film that says, where's my fucking pig? And I was like, in those exact words, there is. Just laughing.
I love the poster. It's got Academy Award winner Nicolas Cage, and then it's got the tagline, we don't got a lot of things to really care about, and then pig. That's the tagline they've gone with. I can just picture him saying it.
It's just amazing, and I genuinely can't wait for this. One of the other posters for it is just part 1. Who has my pig? It's just amazing. The pig, played by Brandy.
That's the name of the pig. We're not talking about the 90s R&B singer, star of Moesha.
Maybe she voices the pig.
Okay.
And when I say voices, just like for the pig.
Yeah, maybe.
Just amazing. But yes, so I really want to watch that, because his Wonderland one is now out on DVD. It's in Asda for like a £5, and I'm like, wow, I really want to watch it. The one that was the Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Something like that, because it just looks so bad. I want to watch it. Well, yeah, I want to watch this as well. I want to watch this so bad. It just looks so good, Dan.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But yes, apart from that, what else have I been doing? I watched tidbits from the Witchercon. So the Witchercon is basically just CD Projekt Red going, here's a weekend full of Witcher news. Which includes loads of stuff. So they give you like the trailers for season 2, The Witcher, which is coming out in December. And again, it looks very nice. Like, I love the first series of The Witcher on Netflix, so I'm looking forward to season 2. They also shared the anime, sorry, the anime one, which is the A Wolf's Nightmare.
Yeah.
Which is based around Vesemir. And that's coming out next month. I think it is the 30th of August or the 3rd of August. So when it's coming out, I always get confused by the fucking dates in America for some reason. But yes, that's coming out. And they've also announced they're doing a manga short of basically him in Geralt, or Geralt, however you want to say his name, in Japan.
Okay.
Or like in the folklore, so it's like, years ago it's coming through, because they have like amazing like folklore, like some of the monsters that they have back in Japan and stuff are just incredible. So they're like, yeah, let's stick him in that'll go well. So they're showing that, and they had loads of interviews and stuff with the cast, like Henry Cavill and that sort of stuff. And like, you always forget, and I don't know why, but you always forget how much of a massive nerd that Henry Cavill is.
Yeah, absolutely.
So just like the latest thing is now people want him to stream that Warhammer 40k, because he went in to start doing season 2 of the film in I'm going to get all the names wrong, and I know I am, so I apologise. Despite the fact I've played it several times and watched obviously season 1 of the show, I'm going to get this name pronunciation probably completely incorrect, but Vermoden. Or it's the castle where he grew up and whatnot, and where he takes Ciri over there. Apparently, he walked in and looked at the first, like, the big huge chandelier, and named the place, like some unit in Warhammer, the Blackstone Fortress. Apparently, I know it's a weapon, so I apologise. Sorry, it's a weapon, the Blackstone Fortress.
Okay.
And he was like, oh my god, no one's going to get this, but yeah, the chandelier we've got here looks just like the Blackstone Fortress in Warhammer. And then he starts talking about loads of Warhammer and how he loves to paint them and stuff like that. And then it moved on to him, obviously, how he's got this graphics card, which I don't know how much you know about it, but there's a NVIDIA graphics card, the RTX 3090, which is like extremely difficult to get hold of. Like PlayStation 5 and Xbox One X, sort of difficult to get hold of. He just started bragging about how he's got that and how he loves playing games with it, and like you genuinely forget like how much he loves it. And going into like all the game stuff, it makes me always think, you know what, I didn't like the Superman films. I love Henry Cavill. He's just a really nice, down to earth, nerdy gamer, and I'm like, yeah, you know what, I can forgive you for your misdemeanors.
Yeah, the other things I've seen him in, he's been good in. That Mission Impossible, what was it, Fallout, he was in.
Yeah, he was good in that.
And have you seen The Man from U.N.C.L.E.?
I have not seen The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
It's one of the better Guy Ritchie films.
Right, okay.
It doesn't say a lot, but it was good, and he's good in that. He is good generally in most stuff that I've seen of him. I still haven't watched The Witcher, but I am slowly running out of programs that I want to watch, so I probably will get onto that.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, I need to watch it with the wife before season 2 starts, because we've now like run out of things that we've been watching, and thankfully she watched the first. Well, I'll say thankfully, for once it's rather annoying, but she's run out of the things to watch. So she's like, "Oh, Love Island's on now," so I watched that, and I was like, "Oh, nice! I'll start playing on the Switch then." So like I've obviously started. We were discussing playing Divinity 2 and whatnot, and loving that. And then she got about 4 episodes into Love Island and was like, I hate all of these people. I'm not watching this anymore. And I was like, oh, that's like my month and a half solid of just playing Divinity 2 gone.
Yeah.
So, because she's like, no, it's fine. You can play while I watch whatever. But then I'm like, but there is nothing on, which means we should really watch a film or start a new series or do something. And that means I need to pay attention to this because I'm going to really enjoy it. So, like, I don't mind not playing because it means I get to watch stuff that I'm really interested in. But at the same time, like, I just got onto it again. So I'm like, come on, guys. But hey ho, it's what it is.
What can you do, eh?
And yeah, just the very last thing about The Witcher. Kind of what they did announce was obviously it's coming out, the remastered version for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X.
The enhanced version.
It is,
some extra content.
Yeah, they're including extra content from the show. They haven't given away what it is exactly, but
no, I've seen some reports that are going all in, being like, yeah, we're gonna get some extra, maybe some extra little side quests and stuff, and others to just there's gonna be some like some armor or a sword or something like that that's from the show.
Yeah.
Which, that sounds more likely, I would say.
Yeah, the thing is though, with how bad CD Red did with Cyberpunk, and even though it wasn't a financial failure or a commercial failure,
it was the number one selling PlayStation 4 game last month.
Yeah, because they've attempted to try and fix stuff, haven't they? And it's just one of those that it's just like the reputation now is ruined more than the actual like figures and stuff like that. Because people will want to play it once it's fixed, because they're like, we've been hyped up for it for years now, we haven't been able to do it. When it is fixed, I want to see what all the fuss is about. So people will eventually go and buy it, but now when you hear, CD Projekt Red are doing this, you're like, oh, The Witcher 3 didn't start off great, but nowhere near the fucking shitstorm that this one was, Cyberpunk was. So I think they have to try and get in the good favour of people again, and I think this means that they've got to put some effort in, especially when if we can't carry on Cyberpunk like we want to, because they're doing an anime series of that as well. So that's coming to Netflix soon, but they didn't give away too much about that yet.
I can imagine they've been working on that for a while. So that was always on the cards, regardless of what happened.
And also, just while we're on the subject of the anime, so we haven't heard much about the Shenmue, the anime, for a very, very long time, and I was like, why haven't we heard much about it? That's not good. So then, thankfully, the people that I want to say, is it the Adult Swim or Toonami, whichever one?
Yeah, so it's Adult Swim and Crunchyroll.
Yes,
that are collabing on
it. The vice president and creative director of Adult Swim, he came back to us and was like, "Sorry guys, don't worry, it's all coming along great. So just to let you know, like, we're going to start sharing it very soon. But just to let you guys know, I've started watching it and I'm very happy with it." So the good news is, it's still coming along.
Yeah.
We haven't had a chance to see anything.
No, but apparently they've been working on it for a couple of years, even when Shenmue 3 was in development. So
that's correct.
It's not like it's just suddenly, we've just started it now. It means they're, on the way with it already. So hopefully we will get it sooner rather than later.
And that makes me very happy.
I can imagine.
Very, very happy. Along with also, while we're just talking about updates and stuff, very quickly. So Final Fantasy 16, obviously we didn't hear anything about this at E3. But it's also now going to be possibly skipping TGS as well, which is happening about end of September, beginning of October. But they always do, for Final Fantasy 14, they do a monthly newsletter called like the Live Letter. From the producer, and he goes into like all the details about what's up and coming with the events and stuff like that in Final Fantasy 14, and how they've had to stop selling it for now because it's got that popular they can't put any more people in servers. Wow. So they're like, we have to cut off that. People can't buy games anymore. You've literally just got to wait for us to try and extend the storage space so people can jump on, which is insane how popular that's become again.
Yeah, I had heard that. I've seen a lot of memes on Reddit recently about people giving up on WoW and moving over to 14.
Yeah, it's because two really big WoW streamers. One of them, I think he got his Twitch, his WoW Twitch banned or like cancelled, something like that, and went under investigation. So he was like, fine, I'll start playing Final Fantasy 14. Everybody really wanted me to try it anyway. So he announced that he was going on it, and apparently it just blew up massively, and he tried to play it for hours, and in the end was like, guys, can you leave me alone? I'm trying to play it. Because everyone who follows him was just like, yeah, let's go find him. And they found him and just followed him everywhere. So every time he went to kill something, people were doing it for him. Every time he went to grab something, people were grabbing it for him. And he was just like, just let me enjoy it. Like, I really want to do it. But apparently the people playing it just spiked massively. Actually beat their own records without actually having to release any updates or expansion packs or anything like that. They just like hit an all-time high again. I was like, fuck, but he's also the producer of Final Fantasy 14. Is also doing Final Fantasy 16 as well.
Mm.
And he gave a few little updates, including that the main story is now done and set in stone.
Yeah, and the voice acting as well.
And now even the English ones are nearly almost fully completed. So even though we might not see it in September, it looks like it's coming along very, very rapidly, to be fair. Like, I know it's been in works for a little while, but it's one of those, when you don't hear anything about a game until it's like revealed, like 16 was on the last Sony State of Play, and then all of a sudden like, hey, guess what, guys? It's nearly completed. And I'm like, fuck, that's a quick turnaround. So
it's like the Sam & Max VR game that they just went, hey, look, we've done a new Sam & Max game. Oh, it's out now.
Yeah, it's just mental. But I think I will.
Quest only though at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, which is what I've got.
Yeah, although it just to briefly hit on it, because it was on my list of things that potentially to talk about. But I mean, I any of the LucasArts stuff I love. I'm literally going through all the old stuff and all the old Sierra point and click games, just having a bit of a point and click, like, renewal in my life. Yeah, and Sam & Max is one of the great ones. But this is just like the characters Sam & Max, but it looks like a very standard VR sort of, almost like the Rick and Morty VR things where it's just, let's put you in a situation. Oh, look, you got to shoot that thing. All right, get your gun out and you start shooting something. There's barely anything from the original games other than the characters. Yeah, which makes it an odd choice to me. I don't know. It seems strange, but any more Sam & Max is good. Let's face it.
That's exactly it, isn't it? People are just like, right, okay, what can we just make a quick buck out of?
But I think in the right circles, fair enough. Sam & Max are well known. I just don't think they are necessarily. I don't think they're this big franchise. I don't see them as. I think you could ask.
They used to be, didn't they? I remember when it used to be like huge. Like, oh my god, wow, yeah. Now all of a sudden it's like, where have they gone?
Yeah.
And we're like, oh right, okay. It looks like they're trying to make a comeback in a fucking VR special. That's not.
I know, exactly. Strange. It's very strange. And something like, say, I don't know whether there was any inkling of this coming out. I mean, there must have been something, but I don't remember any announcement of like, we're making this. It was just, we've made this and it's out now.
Yeah. This time it's virtual.
That's it. That's exactly the subtitle.
Is it? I don't know. Steam don't have it for sale until September.
No, it's only on Oculus Quest.
On Quest. Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
It's going to be on PSVR
and
Steam and whatnot.
So my head will get there eventually, because I was like, well, I can play Steam games on my Oculus Quest, and I'm like, no, of course, yeah, because you use a virtual desktop. It's not officially not until then, is it? So yeah,
no,
I'm with it now. But yeah, it is one of them, and it's like, I enjoyed the Rick and Morty one for like the 5 minutes it's done for, but I'm just like, there's got no replayability value to it. For the prices they are, it's crazy cash for how little you actually get to play with it. But at the same time, I did like Sam & Max. I wasn't a huge fan of the Telltale Sam & Max ones.
Yeah, but it's the same thing. If you like the characters and you like you like the humor of it, that's half of what you might be getting the game for. That's half what you want to play the game for. I don't think anyone necessarily expected the Rick and Morty game to be groundbreaking, but knowing now that Justin Roiland is sort of huge into VR now, you look at things like Accounting Plus and Trover Save the Universe, they are like really unique all-in VR games, not just here's a game with a VR element thrown in over the top. So it's it kind of, if something came out now, you'd expect a little more out of it. But back then, I think it was just like, let's get a Rick and Morty game out.
Have you seen who's doing it though? Who's doing the Sam & Max game?
No. Well, I didn't recognize them anyway.
The development team includes the Sam & Max creator, Steve Purcell, LucasArts alumni Peter Chan, who does all the art for it, Mike Stemmy, who's the writer and designer from LucasArts, Mike Levine, the creative director, and Julian Kwasniewski, and Jared Emerson Johnson of Bay Area Sound. So the last three have worked on the Telltale series of games, and the others are all the LucasArts game people, along with the original creator. So the people who created it, the creative,
which makes it even weirder that they went.
Sounds amazing.
That's what VR needs.
Yeah. Holy shit! Oh no, I thought they were doing Phoenix Wright VR then for a second. Sorry, I got really excited.
That would absolutely
that
work.
would be amazing, but it's not. Yeah. It's just the three games. I fell down a massive rabbit hole on Steam the other night. I have no money, so I had no intention of buying anything. But I was just like, oh my god, I'm going to put that in my wish list, that in my box. I ended up with like 70 odd titles in my
it's far too easy for that to happen.
You need to stop doing that.
You end up sticking everything in your inbox, in your shopping basket, and you're like, I'll come back later. And then you come back later and everything's gone up. And you're like, yeah, that's probably for the best.
Yeah, massively.
I did a similar thing, but it was basically when I got, I've mentioned like the tablet I bought and how I found how amazing it is for Scum VM and using it's got a pen with it, like it's a Samsung. It's got what's called the S Pen, and it just works just like a mouse, but don't have to set it up like a laptop and just sit there with my tablet and use my pen as the mouse. And so I was like, right, I want to get all the space quests. I want to get the police quests. I haven't got Monkey Island on that'll work with it. I've only got it on Steam, so I need it on GOG, so it's DRM free, so that'll work. And I started having a look around for getting all the games I wanted. The only version of Monkey Island 1 and 2 you can buy now are the special editions, which was about 10 years ago, maybe a little bit longer ago. They didn't just sort of make it a bit shinier. They completely reanimated and redrew the entire game and voiced them with the voice cast from the third and the fourth ones. But if you pressed the button, it would then it would fade the screen into the old original blocky versions. So there's a group of fans out there that, because they know people still want to play these games on stuff like Scum, which won't handle the special editions, they made a little utility that you put into the directory that the special edition version is, run it, and it strips all the voice acting out of the special edition games and puts it then into its own file that plays as the original style of game. So you then get the voice acting with the old original blocky version. And they did that for both. So that's just some fans have just in their time gone, I'm going to do this.
Well, just quickly, while you're talking about the Monkey Island.
Yeah.
So Sea of Thieves is doing the Pirates of the Caribbean, aren't they? They're doing the Pirate's Life, it's called.
Yeah.
So obviously Rare had to go to Disney and be like, hey Diz, can we use your prop?
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, yeah, use our prop, mate. It's fine. You give us money for it. Seeing as it's also under your property, can we put a little nod to one of your other games in there? They're like, yeah, you can do. Like, nice. Cheers, guys. So they've done a ship. I'm going to give some spoilers away, potentially, if people haven't found it yet. But there's a Monkey Island Easter egg in there. So basically, you find a ship, which is called the Headless Monkey, which if you Google, you'll be able to find where to find it.
Sounds like a great alcoholic drink.
It does. Actually, that sounds like a great alcoholic drink. And I'm like, yes, it does.
Hear that. Yeah.
But yeah, so it says once you find yourself standing before the wreckage of the old ship named the Headless Monkey, keep your ears open, because the music transitions from the Pirates of the Caribbean inspired score in this tall tale to the rendition of the main theme to the Secret of Monkey Island, which is just amazing by itself. And when you actually watch it, yeah, it really is cool. But not only that, if you actually step on the boat itself, you can actually read journals to figure out what happened to Guybrush Threepwood when he went to sea in this glass bottom boat, and how he ended up along with the captain, Captain Capsize.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kate Capsize.
Yeah,
literally, that's where I'm up to in Monkey Island 2 at the moment.
Cool. Yeah, it ended up showing you how she ended up in the Sea of the Damned. So that's going through. So there's an awesome, nice little Easter egg in there for you, which is cool.
Like, it's if Disney have got any sense, they will either make a Monkey Island movie, or they will do some sort of Monkey Island Pirates of the Caribbean crossover in movie form. If they want to reboot and relaunch the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, but they haven't got, like, I don't think Johnny Depp's having anything to do with it anymore, or Disney aren't having anything to do with him. I don't know which way around. Either way, would that not be the perfect way to go?
It would be, but could you imagine how people who haven't heard of Monkey Island, or kids and women that haven't really played and blokes haven't played it, when all of a sudden one of the wannabe pirates just goes, I've got a rubber chicken. What do you want me to do with this?
Yeah, but that could be like a really quick throwaway sort of thing where some character's like, throw me the gun, and he reaches down and like accidentally picks up a chicken and throws chicken. Or, no, not the chicken. The gun. There's ways. There are ways of bringing that in.
Would be incredible.
Yeah.
But I just don't. I can't see it as much as I'd want to, because it's one of my all-time favorite franchises.
I suppose you'd need a sort of a Men in Tights style.
100%. If it was like Mel Brooks that did it, it would be an amazing film. It really would be. But if you got someone the likes of like Simon Pegg or something to do it, that would be great. But I just couldn't see it being like a good Hollywood blockbuster. Like this summer, like the Jungle Cruise looks ace. Like I'm looking forward to that. But
it does now. But did you see the first trailer for it like a year ago, a year and a half or something?
Yeah.
It didn't look good at all. It looked absolutely awful. I don't know whether it's just a bad trailer or that's the best they could do with what they had. But the new trailer, absolutely, I agree with you. It looks a lot better.
I think I'm still, and I don't know how long it's going to take for me to get out of this, but I'm just still in that little Disney bubble. So like the minute it was released, this looks amazing. I need to see it. And like, yeah, you're right. Probably does look enough, but I'm like, no, yep, need to see that. Anyway, I massively got distracted from yourself then. Sorry. So, are you also going to buy yourself the new Switch?
Yeah. Well, so this is the new Switch is
nowhere near as good as what we were all hoping it to be.
But it entirely makes sense that that's what they've decided to do. Because, I mean, there's been little incremental changes in there. There's been new variations of it, new model numbers where they've gone, here's a better battery, and here's this fixed and that fixed, and this one doesn't have Joy-Con drift. Oh no, wait, it still has Joy-Con drift. Never mind. So what all they're doing on the new one, obviously, is putting in a bigger screen, which is one thing I said, like, I don't see why they don't, because there's quite a big bezel on the Switch, isn't there, really, when you look at it compared to what, I don't know, compared to look at some phones nowadays that have like barely any bezel. It seems like a lot of wasted space. So they're getting rid of a lot of that because it's the same physical size. It's just a bigger screen, and it's an AMOLED screen. So it's better quality. It's brighter. The pixels are self-lit, so it's going to be a lot more vivid. And they are great screens. So at least they're improving that. And the dock's got an Ethernet output, and that's about it, right?
Yep.
Am I missing anything?
Don't think so.
Cool. Just double checking. So yeah, it's a nice little update. It's not a lot more expensive, which is the good thing. It's maybe about 20-30 quid more, if I understand right.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a bit sad. It would have been good if they'd have gone, okay, here's a little bit off each of the older versions, and here's the new version at the same price. But never mind, it's Nintendo. Of course, they're not going to do that. But when you think about what they've done with all the previous consoles, it fits right in with that.
Yeah.
Like how many versions of the DS were there? They just kept, none of them. Well, they did a new version that was ever so slightly better, that had an extra little joystick on that only 2 games ever needed.
Yeah.
So that's what this is. They don't like. Well, I say they don't like sort of partitioning and segregating the fans in that, you've got this version, you can play these games, you haven't got this version, tough, you can't do it, apart from with things like expansion packs, I guess. But even then there was less than half a dozen games that ever used it. So I think a pro version was probably never fully on the cards. Like I said, my only slight disappointment is that it's more expensive, I guess. But
Yeah.
I would have one, because one thing that really bugs me about the DS and a couple of other things that I've got that are handhelds is if you're ever trying to play it outside. Like, we've had a few nice days here, and there's a couple of times where I've had nothing much to do in the day, so I've gone, right, I'm just going to go down to the park and get a picnic. I'm going to sit there. I'm going to take my DS or something with me, and I've turned it on, put the brightness right the way up, and I still can barely see the screen. Whereas an AMOLED screen, it's great, really good in direct sunlight. So that's a really nice thing to do, because the Vita's got the same type of screen, and the screen on that is amazing.
Yeah,
it's good,
the Vita
great
is
quality
fantastic.
screen. So yeah, I mean, great. I can maybe see why they didn't announce it at E3, because it's not really that exciting. It's just, here's a slight, improvement.
Yeah.
But at least they've done it. Like I say, I think give it a couple of years and they will then be announcing something completely, new and much, much, much better, newer version of it.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah. 100%, mate. 100%. Until it stops doing like just phenomenal sales, there's no reason for them to be like, okay, let's throw this at it and run. The minute it starts slowing down, they'll be like, right, okay, what can we do to get some more like cash back into it?
And still outselling everything else combined.
Yeah, then they'll stand a good chance of it. I mean, the only downside to the original version of the Switch is the battery life more than anything. Is like doing the game. So like Divinity, if I sit off, if Ash, like the other night, she was finishing off the last ever series of the Kardashians. So I was like, yeah, I'll tell you what, then I'll play a couple of hours on Div 2 while she does that. And after like an episode and a half, it was like, your battery's getting low. I'm like, Christ. I was like, it's been docked for like a week and a half. And I was like, and now it's like played for an hour and a half, not on the docks, and it's literally handheld, and the battery's dying after like 90 minutes. I was like, that's not good. So I remember when it used to last like a good portion of the day. Now it's just like, yeah, you've got an hour and a half left of it. It's like, we don't even really, like, we've never really heavily used it. It's, every now and again it'll go on for like a session when it's docked, but never like using the battery life like we do if it's handheld. It's always docked. It's crazy.
That's the thing, isn't it? Even with this new one, it's not improved. They've not improved the battery life, supposedly.
But if anything, with the nicer screen, sharper screen and stuff, it's probably going to make it worse.
Well, no, it evens out. Apparently, it is a bigger battery, but the screen then drops it down again. So, I don't know. I'd be interested in great at some point when I'm in the market for a new handheld. I'll quite happily get a Switch, but it's the same thing. The games are just like the games that are worth having just never go down. All the big first party Nintendo games are just, it's a tough one. You just £45 to get Breath of the Wild.
You just need Div 2 on it, mate, and then me and you can play it together, because you can play that online in parties, and it's so much fun. So 100%, just buy that, and then that's your Switch.
Might as well give me another game that you want me to try and play you online.
But that one you don't need to sub for. So once it's been bought, it's yours forever.
True. Fine. That isn't necessarily what puts me off. It's just like my gaming is so. No, it's like my gaming is just not on any remote schedule. It's just like I've got a bit of time out of a game, so I don't want to be like, I've got to log on and play at this time with this person.
God, I've got to play Reg.
No, I don't want to. I just don't like it taking part of my schedule. It's just I don't know what it is. That sort of it just. Like I say, I like to just go, oh, okay, Shell's doing this. What am I going to do? Oh, I'll play a game now. I've got a bit of time. Although I'm at home all on my own at the moment for another day because my other half is away doing some training. So
nice.
can I play? And I've been trying to get into Jedi Fallen Order, and I just don't like it. I'm really, I don't know whether I'm disappointed in the game or myself, but it just, I don't know, something about it has. I mean, I'm a fair way into it. I'm onto like the third planet, but it just hasn't grabbed me.
Really?
And it got to the point where it bugged me so much the other day that I just said, you know what, I'm either going to give this a rest and move on to something else and maybe come back to it or not. Same happened with Horizon. That one didn't bug me. I got a little bit bored of traipsing back and forth across the map all the time.
See, Horizon, I absolutely loved it when I was playing it. My issue is, and it's happened with loads of games, is I know they are great games, but I just cannot be arsed turning them on. And I've got one. It's one of those, like, I got it, and I didn't really have anything else to play either at the time. It was just one of those, like, yeah, I'll jump on that in a bit, and then I just never turned it on again. But I was really, really, really enjoying it up to the bit I got to. And like, I was like, you know what? The visuals are stunning. I'm enjoying the story. I'm having so much fun with all the traps and different arrows. Like, really, really enjoyed it. And I was even saying to Mike, I was like, you know what? This is probably one of the better titles I played on the PS4. Like, this is really good. And like 3 months later, he was like, you've not given me any updates on Horizon. I was like, are you still playing it? I was like, completely forgot it existed.
I really love the concept of it. I love like finding all these, you know, the little hints at the past and like and what might have happened, and it was really intriguing. But just, I don't know what it was. Something it was getting a bit frustrating. Like, say you'd go to do some mission, and then suddenly you'd have to go right the way back across the other side of the map. And I know you can fast travel, but you can't unlimited fast travel. You only get
that on the map on Fallen Order is the only thing that really pissed me off.
Oh, the map's terrible.
The map was horrendous. So whenever you finished what you need to do, you had to go back to the ship. I'm like, how the fuck do I get back there?
Yeah.
And like, looking at it, I was like, no idea I'm doing this. But I was really, really enjoying that game.
The first planet, definitely. The second planet was a bit more straightforward. It was it was clear what way you could go, and then you would open up shortcuts that were obviously going to get you back. I think the thing that annoys me about that game is how you can't save it anywhere. You can only save it when you get to the meditation points. And some of them are so far apart, and it might just be that I'm not very good, but some of the things that attack you, like if 3 or 4 of them come after you, they can take you down in no time, and then suddenly you've got to go right the way back to the meditation point and go through everything again. And also, when a game, like when they decide on some sort of game mechanic and they go, right, we'll put this in it so you can do this, you know, or you can swing on a rope or you can climb up a vine or whatever, they seem to be obsessed with sliding down icy or muddy terrain. Like, out of 2 planets, I think that must have happened about 5 or 6 times where there's been a bit where you've got to slide down and guide yourself around and then jump off at the end and grab onto a rope. But the controls aren't good enough for it to be like particularly accurate, especially when you're sliding down, you get to the end and you've got to jump in exactly the right direction. Like, there was this one bit that I must have died about, like, fully, like every time you fall off a cliff you lose a little bit of your health and respawn. So I must have died fully about 3 times on it before I managed to grab onto the rope and then jump over to the next bit just right. It was just so frustrating. So I moved on and went on to play the South Park game, the Stick of Truth I'm working through,
Nice.
which is great because it's such a straightforward, simple game. Like, you've got all these amazing RPG mechanics, and the thing that frustrates me about some like Japanese RPGs is how complicated they are. Sometimes I just want to get into it and play it, and fair enough, level up my character, buy some new equipment, but then you end up with this like maze of like, this is where you can level up your character, and you go through all these different paths, and sometimes it breaks my brain just trying to think what I'm supposed to be doing. And especially if you don't play a game for a couple of weeks and then you come back and you've completely forgotten how it all works, it's really frustrating. Whereas this game is the most straightforward, basic RPG I've ever played, which is understandable because it's a South Park game. But it's great. It's just loads of fun. I always knew it was going to be. I just never got around to playing it. But and then I've got the Fractured Butthole to play next. So.
Oh yes, of course. 'Cause Stick of Truth is the first one. How far are you in the Stick of Truth?
I mean, in the story, not far, because I am literally walking around the entire town doing everything that I can first. Butters keeps moaning at me, going, this isn't really something that we should be doing. The quest is this way, and I'm like, yeah. Let me just go to Kenny's house.
They're so good. The map's amazing. Like everything about the South Park games were just brilliant. They really, really were fun. I genuinely loved every second of playing them.
It is really good. Reminds me of the Mario RPGs. So like the Mario and Luigi games, because of the sort of quick time events of attacking and things like that and defending. Yeah, loads of fun. But anyway, shall I just read my list of things that I want to talk about on this podcast, Reg?
Oh yeah, sure.
So okay, I talked about Teletubbies and COVID and all that, right? That's fine. Sam & Max we talked about. Switch OLED you talked about. That's good. So I wanted to moan about Now TV. I wanted to talk about The Walking Dead. I wanted to talk about Marvel What If. I wanted to talk about going to see Black Widow, and I also wanted to talk about The Tomorrow War, which is that Amazon Prime film.
Oh, is it any good?
Pratt. It depends if we're going to talk about it now or not.
It's just
we're an hour
about watching it.
Huh?
I was just thinking about watching it, so
watch it. It's not very good, but watch it.
Right, okay, then probably not then, because we have very limited adult time anyway. So if it's not worth it, then probably not.
Yeah, we'll touch on it next week, because it's a few of the little things about it are quite interesting to talk about, like how
it's getting a sequel, isn't it? I know that
exactly, but yeah. So and at least by next week, I would imagine the majority of people will probably have seen Black Widow, so I might be able to talk about it a bit more. Maybe. I don't know. Hopefully. But I saw it, and I will say, really good. I really liked it. It was one of the better ones. I don't know whether it's just... It feels like sort of the MCU at the moment has this different feel to it, because you've got all the TV shows. So it's like, there's always some new thing to consume that's part of that universe. So it's really nice then going to see this 2-hour massive blockbuster that just looks amazing, and it's great. A few little funny things in the story, but as a whole, it was a really, really quality movie. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Nice.
Yeah, but a few things to talk about next week then.
Yeah, most definitely. Especially the Mario 64 game that sold for a stupid price at auction.
Yeah.
Mental.
Stop mentioning things, Reg.
I will.
Anyway, thank you for listening.
Thank you for having me.
We'll hopefully see you again next week.
That you shall. Thank you, and toodles.